I straight put it down and I'm repping the brown. And fuck all the haters that's running them out. They ain't about shit, they just love talking loud. Cause they know I'm a hoodster, they're chasing the clout. I brush it away and I stick to my route. I'm moving on up and fuck all of the doubts. A hoodster, a G, and I'm repping it proud. A hoodster, a G, and I'm repping it proud. Straight for the raza, so bump it out loud. I straight put it down and I'm repping the brown. And fuck all the haters that's running them out. Cause they ain't about shit, they just love talking loud. They know I'm a hoodster, they're chasing the clout. I brush it away and I stick to my route. I'm moving on up and fuck all of the doubts. A hoodster, a G, and I'm repping it proud. Straight for the raza, so let it bump loud.
You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Hoodstar.
Oh, what's good, G-Life? It's your boy. Now, right here, we're in LA County. Beautiful LA County. We're going to be taking a drive down right here. What is the harbor area. Was known as the harbor area. In the city of Torrance. This is the city of Torrance. Beautiful Torrance, you know what I mean? Although Torrance looks nice, upper class, you know, decent area to live, middle class area, I would consider it. It's also treacherous, like any other part of LA County. The looks could deceive, and Torrance is a perfect example of that because the looks do deceive right here. Because Torrance is area that's full of a lot of gangs and a lot of chaos, you know what I mean? And the reason why we're here in Torrance is because this is home to Chicano rapper Seven, Mr. Seven from hellafyde Records, hellafyde Music. He's the one that started hellafyde Records. That's his label. So he's the head honcho when it comes to hellafyde Records. And hellafyde Records and Mr. Seven, I think, are so underrated. It's not even funny because these individuals and this individual right here have so much talent. You know, phenomenal rapper, phenomenal beats, phenomenal albums. I'm not putting too much tapatio on his name or nothing like that. He legitimately has a lot of skills. And I feel like he doesn't get talked about or brought up as much, you know, in conversations, as he should. Because when we're talking about Chicano rap and you know, great artists, you know, that are Chicano, his name is definitely has to be in the picture. If you were to hear his albums, you would know what I'm talking about. And he started hellafyde Records. He started DJing when he was younger. Since middle school, he was DJing. That's how he got into the music industry. Him and his buddy were DJing and decided to, you know, to give the music a try. You know, hustled up some feria together to, you know, get at the studio to be able to make beats. Now, the reason why Seven stands out is that he's not only a rapper, he makes his own beats, he produces, he does all of that as well. You know what I mean? He has a team, but he's the one that makes the beats. He's the mastermind. You know what I mean? He's musically inclined, very gifted. You know what I mean? When an individual is able to do that, you know that that individual is gonna produce nothing but fire. You know what I mean? And he did come out of this area. You know, Torrance. This is the area in which he grew up. You know, where it's treacherous. Like I said, Torrance is no walk in the park. People may think that it is, but it gets treacherous right here. Torrance is an area that's full of, you know, several gangs from 204th Street to La Rana, to East Side Torrance, to Central Torrance, to, you know, different other tortilla flats, you know, like I'm saying, just a bunch of different gangs, you know what I mean? So it gets treacherous. And one of the, you know, notorious gangs that you do have in this area that's old school is the East Side Torrance neighborhood. Now, East Side Torrance is a neighborhood that gives Torrance PD and the highway patrol and all of those divisions a hard time around here. You know what I mean? You know, because their neighborhood does cross, you know, those lines. So it's different jurisdictions, so they give both law enforcement a hard time. You know what I mean? This neighborhood is decent in size. Not too big, not too small. But like I said, they planted their flag right here and have been right here holding it down for quite some time. You know what I mean? Their neighborhood is from what's 228th Street all the way to Western, from Western all the way to 223rd Street, and from 23rd Street all the way to Normandy, where the Normandy skate park's at by 224th, 25th, throughout Dinker, Plaza de Amo, all of that is what's considered their barrio, all those back streets, all those homes, because there's a lot of homes right here, just compact. And this is the area which they call their home, you know what I mean? Their territory, their domain, with several cliques from the Diablos, Rascals, Young Gunners, they got several cliques, like I said, this neighborhood, is decent in numbers, roughly more than 300 heads, I was told. And like I said, homie, they're notorious going at it with the surrounding neighbors because there is, like I said, several gangs that stay by their location, from Tortillas, La Rana, 204th, and Harbor City, the Cribs, just, different barrios, you know what I mean? So it gets treacherous, but like I said, the Eastside Torrance neighborhood has already been right here for a cool minute, remain standing, representing that Panthers gang, the best, that's Barrio Eastside Torrance. That's how you see it best. The Jaguar being their logo, their mascot, as you could say, due to how it has roots to like the Aztec and Mayan culture and all of that. Their colors are the Carolina Panthers colors, that black and blue. That's how you see them sporting that gear and all of that. That's their colors and all of that, And like I said, this is the neighborhood in which the rapper Seven is from. This is his barrio, you know what I mean? Representing right there for the Eastside Torrance, the Diablos. Who he represents in his music. And like I said, Seven is very underrated because funny thing is that I grew up here in Chicano rap. Chicano rap is I dig, but I was mostly into West Coast rap, you know what I mean? But I did hear Chicano rap. But it wasn't until I picked up Mr. Seven's album, and I still remember this day. It was the Ghetto Music album that I purchased. And since that day that I purchased that Ghetto Music album, that was the first time that I could honestly say that like, wow, like this is Chicano rap. Like it left me amazed. It lead me to believe that that the raza could do more than what I was just hearing. You know what I mean? Because he was bringing beats that sounded just like, the Dog Pound, Dr. Dre type style beats, and his rapping skills. It was just on a whole nother level compared to like the Little Robs or the low profile that I had heard. This was just on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Because the hellafyde, a lot of talented Chicano rappers have came out of hellafyde, from Don Chingon to Big Dice to Sal Capone to Young Traves. All the ones that I could honestly say that I hear, that I bump, that I honestly think are gifted. Also Vish is another beast. All of them came out of hellafyde, or at one point were from hellafyde, because hellafyde has dropped several albums from Mr. Seven's best album, hands down. You guys got to check this album out. It's Mr. Seven's 7 Million Ways. And that rola 7 Million Ways is fire, homie. But that album right there has a lot of fire tracks. I'm not just putting to them. Like I said, I own almost every album of hellafyde's that I have purchased with my own money. I own all his albums. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just like guessing or just heard a few tracks on there. I was bumping his music when I was out there in them streets. You know what I mean? I still bump his music till today. 7 Million Ways is an album that is phenomenal. and he's released several other collabs and all of that along the way. Like he released, he produced Also Vicious, It's All in the Game. That's another album that came out of hellafyde. Then you had the Street Night Soldiers, another album that was released in 2004. Then you have Trav's Respect the Game, which is a good album of his, which was in 2005. 7 Million Ways, he released it in 2003. Hogs in the Game was another collaboration album that he released in 2003. Sal Capone, Gangsters Only is an album that I have recommended on my channel several times. He released that one in 2004. Chingon, Azteca de Oro is another phenomenal album that I own, that I recommend. It came out in 2004. Like I said, the one that started it all, that really made me fall in love with Chicano rap, the Ghetto Music album. This album right here, I guarantee you will like it. This is a banger. He released that in 2004. Then you had Big Dice, Win or Lose. He released that in 2006. Then you had the hellafyde Hits. He released that in 2005. Loco Los, The Dirty One. He released that in 2006. You have ALT. Everyone knows who ALT is. Another, classical rap legend right there in himself. He released that album in 2009. hellafyde Records presents Good Times in 2004. That's like a old school, oldie type album. 2004 he released that one, and then the Also Vicious album released in 2013. And that's not all. He's had many more projects along the way. That he's released. Like I said, he stays dropping music. You know what I mean? He's very consistent, and like I said, he's very underrated, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? I feel like like he has so much talent. Even Redwood. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Redwood. He's another phenomenal artist, and who also works with hellafyde. Then you had the All My Writers album. That's another album. Then a few mixtapes as well, from Seven's Public Enemy, Khalifa's music. Like I said, just a whole bunch of projects underneath the the hellafyde title, hellafyde music. MC Pancho, he's another one that that had dropped albums with hellafyde. Like I said, hellafyde's worked with several artists. You know what I mean? From Sal Capone, Spanky Loco, Slow Pain, to West Coast legends. L.A. Nash. Like I said, man. This individual right here, hey, he's been hustling, homie. He's been grinding, dropping fire music. You know what I mean? Since as long as he hit the scene. I am a fan of his, obviously, in his music and his label. I honestly think his label was one of the the cream of the crop when it came to Chicano rap, at least for the South. You know what I mean? I honestly think that it's better than High Power and stuff like that, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? Probably the only ones that were able to give it competition, in my opinion, back in the days was 310 West, just because it gives you that overall vibe of the West Coast connection, DPG type feel to it. You know what I mean? Like I said, they knew what they wanted to throw out there and wanted to sound right and how they wanted to sound. It just didn't sound like no half-ass shit or this sounded like some legit stuff. You know what I mean? Once right here, I'll react to his album, one of his rolas, for you guys to get a better feel of his music. You'll understand what I'm talking about, because the man is definitely gifted. For him to make it out of a tough scenario right here, growing up in this these areas, these streets and everything like that, to make it out, to start his own label, to work with all these artists, to drop albums after albums, to tour Japan and all of that. He's had a really, really good career. Honestly, I feel like his career needs to be better than that, needs to be bigger than that. Honestly, like I said, I grew up a fan hearing his music. You know what I mean? I could honestly say that he does and drops fire, jams, them bangers. You know, him and his whole entire camp. You know, they never disappoint. Every time I go and buy an album, it's money well spent. I've always been satisfied with the product, and like I said, there's so much of it. You know what I mean? So it's not like he just, you know, it's one album, you know, here and there. No, it's been consistent, album after album after album, and mixtapes. And like I said, I've always gotten my money's worth. You know what I mean? So yeah, you guys could pick it up on Amazon, Spotify, all the places where you could get your music. Check him out right here on YouTube. Go follow him on his social media platforms and all of that, because this individual definitely has a lot of talent, creative mind, and knows what he's doing when it comes to music, and knows what he wants to put out there. You know, he actually, when he puts out music, you could actually tell that you know that they actually put like some craft and, you know, passion into it. You know what I mean? That it was just some shit that they half-assed, you know, just threw it out there just to get some money. You know, they poured sweat into it. And yeah, but that's what's up with 7 out of the Harbor area right here, East Side Torrance, putting it down for that East Side Torrance, Trece neighborhood right there for the Diablos. And continue to do him. You know, you guys need to peep him out. You won't be disappointed, but you know, right here, as soon as I react, you guys will get a better feel to it. You know what I mean? All right, and for you guys to get a good feel of his music, I'm gonna react to this song right here, out of his album that I was talking about, the 7 Million Ways album. Really good album. You guys need to, you know, go peep it out. And with no further ado, I'll let him state his case. 7, let him know, my boy. Look at that beat. You can already tell some fuego. Get a feel for it.
Trying to get a summertime, tip a Chevy some things. 501 streets with the YT's bang, the beat slang around saying, cause I'm doing my thing. Throw it down with these pussies who diss my name. Some peep gang when I spit, drill it in your brain. Torrance, California, ain't a damn thing changed. To put it down for our dogs, rapping for me. Love to all my dogs, forever resting in peace. And dropping heat, brother, rise from LA to my slide. So he thought,
remember, makes his own beats, produces all of that, writes his own rap, all him, my boy. And you're gonna not tell me that beat doesn't give off a DPG, the old school Death Row First Chronic album type feel beats. You know what I mean? It's that West Coast funky, greedy, grimy beat. Doesn't it give that vibe? My boy, this individual, talent.
straight. Man said combat beats, dope rhymes, clocking these chicks, climbing up the charts, making platinum hits, real town banging it, 6 folks swinging it. If you ain't deepin' on these, you ain't fading it. We're straight around us, all about our G's, true G slang keys, dropping hoes on knees. Chasing hoes on their phones, smoking on that dope shop. Oh, it makes your lungs explode. Rolling in the 6-4, cutting corners on fire. Only in Cali, only in California. West Coast pop locking in Cali, sunny blue skies, home of the latest super freaks and low rise. Slide to the hot spot, chopping up game. Baby, what's my name? Lil Larry Slow Pain. You know I'm blowing on some lines, rolling in my wood. 93 caddy, mobbing Hollywood. Big 7, you a whole boss player on them keys. Flipping dope beats, dipping on these. I'm a bald-headed local with a blue bandana. East LA's Lil Tony Montana. I'm a certified pimp with a chip on my shoulder. Gentlemen's Club, VIP high roller. Catch me in the Cali, Sunny video, Cali riding. With my homie Too Short, Southside, and baby, don't fight the feeling. You know it sounds good, only in Cali, throwing up my hood. Chasing hoes on them hoes, smoking on that dope shop. Oh, it makes your lungs explode. Rolling in the 6-4.
Funny, this album came out 2004, my boy. This shit was fuego.
Killer Cali, feel the cool air breeze, palm trees and bitches, homies making G's, let your car hard ride, 6 tray ride, mashing in the street, puffing trees all night, LACA, homie put it down where we ride and mash and blast, and get the clown, it's going down in the summertime, a young homie from the streets out to get mine, there's no other place that I'd rather be, beaches and hoes and some casualties, get your blast on homie, get your drink on homie, chill with these hoes and get your Mac on homie, California, where the streets are pop, where there's a bomb ass bitch on every block. Sunny day freeways, the trees to blaze. Girls half naked, it's the Cali way.
California, chasing hoes on them phones, smoking on that doja. Oh, it makes your lungs explode. Rolling in the
Had to edit that part. But yeah, like I said, talented individual, brings the fuego. Like I said, this album came out in 2004? And hear the way it sounds, man. This was on that level, on their level type shit. You know what I mean? Big Bandit, Slow Pain, Seven. They all have that West Coast. I'm telling you, all talented individuals, all musically inclined. These albums are phenomenal. It's the reason why great artists, Chicano rap artists, always worked with Seven, because they know that he has talent. You know what I mean? They could see it. Like I said, I have never been disappointed with his music. Yeah, homie brings the goods, homie. But that's just my opinion. What did you guys think? Leave it in the comment. If you guys enjoyed, if there's any Chicano rappers you guys want me to cover, leave it in the comments. What's your opinion about Mr. Seven, and and if you heard of him or haven't heard of him, or if the song helped with that, and all of that. Leave it in the comments. And Shadow, we out.